Welcome back. This is Sona Chaudhary, and you are live on my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. It's September 17, 2024. It's a Tuesday, and it's a few minutes after tonight's ISL game finished between FC Goa and Jamshedpur FC, which resulted in, I would say, somewhat of an upset. FC Goa losing in the end 1-2 at home to the Steelmen after what I would say was quite a dominating first 45. But Jamshedpur FC turned things around after the break, and that brings match week 1 of the ISL to an end. We have, still can't believe it, Santosh Kashyap as the new head coach of the Indian women's team. I don't know where that came about. And the PSC has taken back all its verdicts so far and will redo everything, it sounds like. So therefore, a lot of things to discuss and talk about. And let's get into it. Hi Kumar, welcome back. Well, this first week is going to haunt a lot of teams come the business end of the tournament. Could be, but again, it's 22 match days. They might miss that 1 point or 3 points. I don't think it'll haunt them that much, to be honest, or throw, because teams are going to get points, win points out of losing positions. But it opens up the whole league for the first few weeks at least. And it's something that I realize that we saw last season. That's why it's quite funny that a lot of people say, listen, we'll see by the midway how things are going to stand. Last season, the teams who were up at the top midway didn't make it to the top in the end, So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Fiction at Haisa, great comeback by Jamshedpur, and was that penalty really valid? It's one of those difficult one because, of course, Murray has a tug. O'Day is too long and is, of course, in a bad angle. In the sense of, there's a contact, right? And Severio does it very, very clever, very smartly. So I don't think you have to, you can give it, that's something. It's something which is I don't know, which is very difficult to say. Hi Manolo, Yusufuddin said notifications left waiting. Sorry Manolo, I'm dependent on the technology. Also, I've been having some problems. You might have seen the last few days with StreamYard in regard to disconnecting connections. I've been checking my own internet and sounds and other things because some of you have been asking me here, have been asking me on my other social medias, and I've checked it. And for me, my connections seem to be correct. So if there is a problem, I'm saying sorry in advance, but it's technology, so I'm dependent on others. Maybe something can be done in the future, but I've not come up with a solution. So if anyone has a solution, maybe let me know. I'm doing fine. Just got a little cold, so my nose is blocked a little, but otherwise I'm doing fine. Now, what's your take on comments of Manolo Marcus on ISL? Too easy. I think too easy from Manolo, the way he said it. I think that people have been making a commitment now for 10 years to spend money on a league, and where the expenses have actually rather grown than become less, with no returns per se. I think to question the investment of the owners is not right. And if I want to be harsh, I would say it would be disgraceful. So therefore, that makes no sense. I mean, then he could question his own owners in Goa, right? So therefore, it makes no sense. So those statements, sorry, he says a lot of things which are right and correct, but this was utterly wrong in my opinion. Or now the 24 matches. Sorry, 13 teams. Sorry, not 22. 13 teams. Sorry, 24 match days. So that makes it even, one loss here and there might not have the effect it might have had in the past. Sorry, as I said, a little bit of a running nose. Table is upside down. Yeah, some would say table is upside down. Some would say, some teams might be up there, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. It's just match day one, so therefore don't take it too seriously. Manolo again played Gupta as left back after saying he's not a left back, and Nanda played as right back. But Manolo, the interesting part to me was that what I've been asking in the last few days is who's going to start for FC Goa as left back? Who started as left back? Akash Sangwan. So that does answer a few questions that I have had. And then in the second half, Jai Gupta came in. But you also saw that Ika Guruchena, Sandesh Jingan, and others were on in the stands. So therefore, Manolo has this issue, I would say, to try and find the right combo, and find the right solution, so to say, for his team to be able to work. So therefore, to me, Sangwan starting off is a sign. Let's see what it does. Indian coach owning national team coach, you could say that on one side, but I think yes, that's one side and how to see it. The other side is to see it that Manolo has not found a solution for a team which is completely dominant, has multiple chances, and scores only one goal. And this is an old rule in football, right? If you don't score your goals up front, you might concede in the end. And this was, again, smart, clever penalty by Severio and the individual brilliance of Jordan Murray. That was the difference. And that's why the foreigners play, right? Even Armando Sadiqu's strike, it should never be a goal. I mean, I don't know what Albino Gomez was trying to do, but it shows you my concern with the Manolo is there a development? Is there an evolvement in the way that that Manolo how his teams play? And that, again, in connection with the national team, to me is a concern. Because his team today committed the same mistake that it committed last season. So for me, evolution, so, yeah. Santosh Kashyap comes from Chobe Berozgar Yojana. I don't know where he comes from. Honestly, yeah. I mean, if the others were bad, this is sorry, this is the worst of the lot. Sorry to say that. With all due respect to Santosh, but Santosh Kashyap, women's national team coach, I don't know how much women's football he's done in his life. Well, it's the AIFF is making a mockery of national team positions, and this whole India coach. Of course, some of you now will say, "Oh, Khalid Jamil doing this now." Okay, yeah, of course, but anyway. If there's contact in the box, the striker would go down. If it's a penalty, it's one. I disagree with the notion of soft penalties. Arithro, it doesn't matter what you think or what I think, but that's the understanding that we have in the game. There are penalties and there are soft penalties, because not every penalty is 100% penalty. And then if I call it a soft penalty, it's a soft penalty, right? There are ones which are 100% clear, where there's a clear contact, some sort of form of way, or a handball or something where it's 100%, and then there are the ones which are, debatable, and this one is a debatable penalty. Mano said we only play good in first 21 minutes. Being a little too harsh, but again, first half an hour, they were really on top of it. And even if you take it overall first half, but they didn't score. Now, and this is something which is a proof. All your domination, all your opportunities, all your chances are worth nothing if you don't score a goal. In football, goals count. Everything else is BS. You could have 5% of the ball, but if you score 2 goals and the opponent only score 1, and they have, 30 chances, so that's something which is a bit of a problem, right? So therefore, that's football. Khalid Jamil, what a coach, winning with this team. And if we go and need a special coach, man. Vedant, don't underestimate this team. Severio, good striker, solid striker. Jordan Murray, on his day, can be a nuisance for every defense in the ISL. Javi Hernandez, solid playmaker. Rei Tachikawa, again, also a good midfielder, solid midfielder I League standards. Stephen Eze, rock solid at the back. That's I've already named your five. Sirkovic only played a few minutes. Add your Indians to it. Uwais, again, another very, very good game by Uwais. Mohamed Uwais might become a left back option for us if he plays like this a few more months, right? Because he's got that physicality angle to it, him. So therefore, it's not. If Goa has the potential, but Goa is missing someone like a Victor Rodriguez last season. I think even Nika Gurochena might be a very good addition once he's fit. So therefore, Goa is not a finished product. Another Khalid Jamil tactical master class as FC Euro. I'm seeing the team who has more hunger to win are winning. Not always, because then you would have had Mumbai City winning the first game. I think that's the one, but at least they got the equalizer. But otherwise, yes, Chennai had more hunger. I thought BFC had a little bit of more hunger. Punjab had more hunger, yeah. And today, Jamshedpur had more. The problem is also towards the end, I didn't see any sort of substitution by Manolo where you thought, okay, you're trying to win this game. Okay, I take Akash Sangwan off and bring Mohamed Nemil in. But is Mohamed Nemil at the moment the player who will make your difference to win the game? So that's the thing. Will Alberto Rodriguez play tomorrow? Vedant, not sure at the moment if Mohun Bagan will gamble with his fitness or not. Again, they also need him for the ISL. So will be decided tomorrow. Why Udanta as right back? Good question for Manolo Marquez, right? Didn't do it badly, actually, I thought. But I would have, when I have Boris and Udanta, I would like Udanta to overlap a little bit more and let Boris maybe drop in the one or the other time. So therefore, this is of a gameplay between the two where I'd say could be utilized a little bit more if I have those two, but they're very similar. I think that's the other problem with these two, that you have two very, very similar players in that position. But again, Manolo has to decide what's he going to do. I never want to be in a room with an angry Manolo. Guy was fuming in a post-match interview. Don't agree, and he can. He's allowed to, right? But he also knows that he, not only the players, but also he didn't do anything to try and change things. And again, Manolo was honest enough to say, listen, you know what? They deserved it more than we did in the end. How many coaches will say that? I have to respect him for that. And if he has to go at his players, he's got every reason to have a go at his players. Right? And he was showing, he wasn't, again, what did he explain? He clearly explained, that I've coached Severio at two clubs. I know that the guy goes down easily. And most probably he would have told Uday that, listen, just be careful, don't pull and tug. And then he still did. And that's why I'm saying that, yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem. And again, let's see. I would not say it's a tactical masterclass, but Khalid's team take the chances and got the win. That's the point, right? I think Manolo, you're very, very right. It's not even a masterclass in any way. It's just the individual quality of players which won you the game. Javi Severio knowing how to get a penalty, and Jordan Murray seeing the gap and scoring. And that's the. You and I could be the coach. If these players are on the field and you give them the right tools to do the things, they'll do it. He took a gamble, yeah. I think a lot of people would have taken a gamble against FC Goa in the second half after that first, knowing FC Goa slowing down, you can do something against them. Another, what about the coach appointment in Indian football, where weirdly on deadline day, women coach announcement and some random coach picking for random instead of a streamline. Kumar, this is a question for the AIFF. I honestly don't know what they're doing. It's becoming a joke. Honestly, to me, it's becoming a joke. That it seems to be like, I don't know. I think they're Googling and then they find a name and then they suddenly appoint someone, right? Because anything else, to me, again, with all respect, um, you know, Santosh Kashyap, Indian women's national team coach, doesn't work. Sorry. Um, and also the rest of it, it has to be a quality foreigner who can take us to the next level. And then we're giving up chances. We're giving up chances. We're giving up opportunities, and we're making a mockery of the whole system, right? We're making a whole mockery of the processes of installing a coach. Even Manolo's appointment in that way was a joke. If you realize what was done, a lot of people applied for the job, and 90% of the people were not even looked at or considered. And that is something which then to me is a little disturbing when coaches from around the world say, listen, I'm interested in the India job. At least I'm applying and trying to, if I can get something in here. Yeah, it's not taken seriously. And this is something which is, in my opinion, very, very worrying. Very, very worrying the way the AIFF at the moment is operating. Many Bengal youth will say Mohan Bagan, Superjan link with another foreigner. Sachin, let's see. Someone as a free agent who's available. Maybe they have a CDM to try and bring in and strengthen their midfield, who they might try out in the ACL2 and then maybe use for the ISL in the second leg. Let's see what happens. Sir, tell anything about Albino Gomez. How's he playing in ISL? Shuman, very simply, Khalid Jamil. He was Khalid Jamil's goalkeeper at Aizawl FC when they won the I-League. And Ashutosh Mehta was right back, and Jayesh Rane was one of the attacking midfielders. Those were the three players he brought in, and with them he won the I-League. So therefore, Albino has played amongst others for the Blasters. Has played for multiple teams in the I-League as well. I think the last two were Churchill Brothers and Srinath Deccan. So he's been around for quite a while. Sorry. 18 plus minutes gone. 34 people watching. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed to the channel. 1,703 subscribers. Thank you for now 1,700 plus subscribers on the channel. And as always, like, share, and subscribes, as I love to say. And so far we have 10 likes. So thank you for that. And again, I did, before today's match, do a video on Jamshedpur FC, Jamshedpur, Mohammed and Punjab, Bangalore, East Bengal, Northeast Chennai, Blasters, Odisha, Goa, Mumbai, and Mohun Bagan. 12 of the 13 teams previewed. Planning to do a preview on Thursday on Jamshedpur FC because they're before the first game. They're still jumbling up their squad at the moment. So let's see if they can. Still, the FIFA ban has not been removed, so haven't signed any. A lot of the players haven't signed, so let's see what happens on that front. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for your support. Ranjan, Ishfaq, Santosh need to be sacked. Are they qualified enough to be coach of any national team? If I'm being honest, none of them. Sorry. Sorry Ranjan, sorry Ishfaq, sorry Santosh, but no, I need people with the right experience in those positions, be it as a youth coach, be it as a women's coach, be it as a men's coach, as a national team coach, all of them. Even that's why I'm saying even Manolo to me is I question that appointment, as much as I like Manolo. But again, today we saw he doesn't have a plan B or a plan C. He's unable to change, so that's my concern. So notification came now. Wow, yeah, that seems to be a problem with YouTube, that some of the notifications come 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes later. So if you are around and if you realize I've put in a certain time to start the show, just try and maybe start the show in the background and then start, because the notifications sometimes don't work. But again, yeah, all of this is sadly out of my control. I can't really do anything about it. Al Nassr sacked their coach. Yeah, not happy with the results, right? And Al Nassr, with not only Cristiano Ronaldo but the other players they've signed, a lot of expectations. I found today's match really boring. Worst match of the season. Raj, too early to talk about worst match of the season. But yeah, it was It was a different kind of game. It was not the typical FC Goa game you would expect when Khalid Jamil's teams play like this, right? That's how Mumbai FC used to play, like Aizawl FC used to play, and other teams as well. So when Gupta came and Sang was playing as a left winger, yeah, Manolo, very interesting thing. And if you saw once or twice, Sangwan stayed back and Jay Gupta overlapped. Not sure what the plan idea was in that, but yeah, I don't know. Thoughts on Razic? Had some good gameplay in the first session, I would say, but needs more time. I think Mohammad Subhajan probably lost ACL2 match tomorrow. Sachin, they've lost nothing so far. They haven't played, but it's not going to be easy. Let's see. They lost Alberto and McLaren. Yeah, let's see. Both of them might be on the bench. And I was did you watch the new Sanjay second coach, which is in Bengali? No, I haven't. So when will Ika return? Around December? Not sure when. He's in rehab, injured himself in Feb. Yeah, he's got at least another month and a half. Again, it to me makes no sense. I would have rather, in the worst case, signed a short gap solution, someone to come in and play. Uh, I would have rather signed someone else, and then the worst case, switch that striker against Iker in Jan. Mohan Bagan, Superjan playing 11 for tomorrow. I don't know. I've not really bothered. Depends on who all are fit, who all are there. They'll play as many foreigners as they can. But yeah, let's wait and see what they do. I think Molina is under a certain bit of pressure after the Mumbai City game, so let's see what he does. Mano playing Udant as right back so that he select him in national team. Don't know, honestly. Mano, again, this is something which we discussed a few weeks ago, that these discussions will happen automatically if a player is playing for a club and the club that he's coached or coaching, that the player will be linked with the national team. So for me, it doesn't come as a surprise. It's also interesting to see how many Hyderabad FC players have actually joined FC Goa in the last few days. Sai Tavora, to name one, Kati Mani as replacement for Arshdeep and for Dheeraj. So yeah. Why Goa sign Iker if he's injured for some months? I don't know. As I just said, good question. I wouldn't have done it. Any update on India U20 coach in AFC qualifiers? Hope no Ranjan there. Amal, for you, there's no update at the moment. Ranjan Chaudhary is still there. As a Jamshedpur FC fan, I must admit a lot of referee decisions were in our favour and against Goa. Nevertheless, we showed a never give up attitude and finally won the match. Yeah, Sports United, some of the 50-50, can be discussed, but again, sometimes you have to sort of, earn your luck, right? And this way, I think, China gave India such a tough fight in hockey. Why are they so bad in football? I think Bangladesh, Sri Lanka might beat China with those players in football. Arijit, China still is better than Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Way better than Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. In football, football is the most complex game. So therefore, it's not so easy as any other sport. So therefore, yeah, you have to just win it. I also tired of one day Manolo wins. Deepak, he tried today. It didn't work for him, right? Your opinion on Bhutia's criticism of AIFF? Vinod, Baichung has been part of things. Baichung is part of the AIFF. Baichung could influence things from inside, but he doesn't have the power to influence things from inside, right? A lot of criticism, right? But he's been also doing stuff where I would ask Bhai, I said, Bhai, what is your intention? Sorry. What's your intention? What are you trying to get at? Right? Are you just trying to ensure that Kalyan is out, that you have an opportunity to run maybe as next president? Because to me, the points he raises, yeah, very valid. But again, what is his role? Yeah, technical committee said certain things. Vijan said no, it wasn't the case. Vijan and Baichung are very, very good friends. And if Vijubhai then says, listen, what's the update on PAO in Indian football? There's nothing, Arijit. There's nothing, and there won't be any update anytime soon. All top 5 team of last year dropped the point in match week 1. Yeah, football Odisha, that's football, right? That's the charm. India has not won one match in 2024. It's very brutal reality. So according to this hearing, PSC will issue NOC again, but they have no right to issue NOC, and also NOC granted, then he will sign for AFC and can play for some years before ban decision comes. Manolo, that is one question which I have, because yes, if the PSC even now grants the NOC, the player is not a free agent, right? And the transfer window is closed. Again, to me, the PSC will do everything 1:1 the same as they did last time around. My question would be now, how can the player sign for East Bengal? And if we can't sign for East Bengal, the next two transfer windows was closed. He can't sign for East Bengal before 2026, right? So that's his, And to me, the PC has no authority to allow a player to move outside of a window, because the window is sacrosanct. So therefore, I don't know what these. And again, how can the PSC issue an NOC? NOC can only be issued by a club. So there are regulatory misunderstandings or misgivings of the rules and regulations in football. That's my concern. We are not progressing because people don't even know. Sri Lanka included 6 origin players in South U17 squad. Manolo, they have the possibilities. They're doing it. We're not. It's our fault. It's nobody else's fault. It's our fault. Thank the government. Thank the government for this. That the government of India is not allowing players of origin to represent us in sports. Right? Sir, are Thangboy Singh to Sanjay and Kajaman the best Indian coaches currently in Indian football? No. There are others who I would rate higher than all 3 of them. Only thing I liked was benching Jigopta. I think he needed that. Yeah, but let's see what happens. East Bengal FC officials said they will try to delay hearing on Anwar after getting him so that he can play some games. It's no joke. It can't be, right? It can't be. If he gets an NOC and there is no hearing, how can you play the player? I mean, this whole thing is becoming a mockery. I think if these guys continue the way they're doing, let's shut down Indian football on a serious note. And again, and then let's let the AIFF's ethics committee go after individuals of how you're harming Indian football, right? Sri Lanka will add more foreign-based footballers from Australia, Switzerland, one player playing in Brazilian Serie A. Manjot, they will add players left, right, and center. Sri Lanka, I'm not sure you will have a complete players of origin squad at some stage in the near future. So far, the ISL has been pretty boring. I don't think so. Deepak, I don't think so. I mean, we can talk about quality, but it was not boring. Boria Mojumdar is saying PSC can make special arrangements for an outside window transfer in India if Anwar goes, and so tomorrow transfer won't be a problem. If that's the interpretation of the laws, then there's again misinterpretation of the law. As I said, NOC, first of all, PSC cannot issue. My understanding, my reading of the game. And then outside of window is anyway not a question. I think it's time for Mohun Bagan to already prepare to go to CAS. I think the circus needs to go to that level, and then boom, 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 proper punishments will be meted out. And for me, the key thing is, then the next step is FIFA, ethics committee, live bans. This is the next thing we need to start. Sir, is there any possibility of you becoming AIFF president fed up of current regime? No, AIFF president looks very, very unlikely. I mean, no state association or something of the sort. So, no. AFC new rule says teams can play an all foreign player and AFC comedy impact on Indian team. It's for the clubs, right? It's not for the national team. So, Mohun Bagan, East Bengal could play 11 foreigners. Talk about India hockey winning Asian Cup. Ganesh, I didn't see it. I have not been following the tournament, so I can't talk about it. What's your take on Vineet Venkatesh? Is he the playmaker we need? People are saying he's Frank Lampard of Indian football. Saket, he's a winger. How can he be a playmaker? How can he be Frank Lampard of Indian football? Right? Do take care of yourself. Thanks, Amal. Thanks a lot. Update on FIFA ban. Is it coming? Nothing at the moment, because you know. Let's wait and see what really happens in the background. But again, there's a lot of stuff where there is involvement, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see where this whole journey really takes us down the road. Good evening, Abhishek. We will be beaten by Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, considering they're allowing origin players, and our team is getting worse by the day. Yeah, Saket, that's the reality. Nigisa tweeted that PSC has the power to allow transfer happen outside window closes in special circumstances. How? Good question to me, circumstances, because my reading of the law is, and again, the first question that I would say is, why is the PSC rehearing the case after the Delhi High Court hearing? But my first question: do a contempt of court, and then the AIFF can take it to a high level and then say, listen, guys, law of sports above the law of the... And this is my problem. These guys don't know the rules and regulations of football. These, illiterate, I don't know what I'm going to call them. I should never call them what I think I am, but they are. But we have, a bunch of pseudo football officials running the system, and they don't know the rules and regulations of the game. And that's killing Indian football amongst all other problems. These jokes. Yeah. What's your take on Bibiano Fernandez? Is the best Indian coach? Bibiano's done well, but again, this whole discussion, who's the best, who are the top three, really don't like to get into all of that. Mohammad Suba should go to FIFA. That how PSC can issue NOC. Yeah, they can, but they also can go straight to CAS, right? If they don't want to go to the appeals. I saw a comment on Instagram, Owen Coyle, this is how you use Jordan Murray. Do you think Owen didn't use him properly? He did. He did. He played for Owen. But again, he didn't score. And there were others who were better. Is there any update on youth leagues? The calendar has been set, So therefore, nothing at the moment. We're early season. Youth leagues will not happen in the next few weeks. Why Mumbai City is not playing Ayush Chikara? He was considered Haaland of India because there are other strikers ahead of him. Very simply. We need Venkatesh needs to improve his physique. He needs to improve everything. Right? One game and people are jumping up and down. I said we make stars after just 5 seconds and pull down the rest. We need to be a little bit more patient, with players who are playing in the system, because it doesn't happen like that. In my opinion, we need to be more patient with players to be able to achieve something. And Vineet has potential, surely has a lot of potential, but we have to be honest enough to say, listen, let the boy evolve, let the boy develop, let the boy get to the next level. But at the moment, he's played not even 90 minutes of an ISL game, scored a great goal, some great touches, but a long, long way to go. What's your prediction of South teams in football? We've talked about it, right? With players of origin joining Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they all have to get better, right? That's one of the challenges, right? That's one of the challenges we have, and that's where we need to improve. And we need to improve if we want to maintain our sort of number one status in the region. I think that's one of the challenges that Indian football has today. That if we want to be the best in South Asia, we need to ensure that we are the strongest team, so to say, in the region. And that's my concern at the moment, that we are losing that because we're not allowing players of origin to be part of our system. We are harming ourselves rather than helping. And that's the challenge I think that Indian football is having at the moment. Sorry, PSC cannot issue NOC. PSC don't have to do a rehearing. AIFF and PSC members are not capable. No, I think they've not harsh to say. Do they understand? You know, I don't know. Yeah, reading and understanding of law, I think, is a very difficult thing. Who will be our next number 9? We don't have a single striker in ISL. See, if I look at the first match day, Rahim Ali most probably is our best bet amongst the current strikers, and then otherwise most probably a false number 9. Do you think today youngster has more chance of on misguided either from reels or following trap or to PR thing like Barca Academy? I think going to abroad. No. See, if you're intelligent enough, you'll go to those academies and you realize this is not a Barcelona. You know, this is not going to take you to Barcelona in any time. If you are exceptional, yes, they will call up Barca and say, listen, I've found some exceptional kid here, there, and everywhere. We don't have those kids at the moment, right? Much commented that people realize I was right. Why this negative coach was hired, don't understand. Yeah, suck it. Let's leave him aside. Which country in South is better development in upcoming years? Morality development doesn't depend on what is happening in the country. It depends on the players of origin you can attract. You know. Sira, how do you rate the intensity and tempo of the ISL? Is it an indicator of how our clubs play and perform in Asian continental competitions? No, it's not. The continental competitions will be faster anyway, this way, that way. So therefore, that comparison doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't stand. So therefore, it doesn't make sense for us to talk about, you know, the standard of the ISL needs to be this, the standard of the ISL needs to be that, or, you know, for national team or for club football, right? So from that perspective, I would say, you know, if even if the ISL is bad, but the teams can lift again. Paro FC comes from a very weak league, but let's see how potentially they could compete with the other teams in the AFC Challenge Cup because Challenge League, sorry, because they're playing in Thimphu in Bhutan. They have a home advantage, right? Those are the realities. Sorry. Update on national team camp Tri-Nation friendly in Vietnam. Will happen towards the end of the month. You know, and we'll have 3 to 5 days to prepare, and then Manolo will take the team to Vietnam. So no infos at the moment. Vietnam is suddenly degraded. Reason? I don't think they've degraded. It's just the results haven't been there. You know, we tend to judge a system in a country without knowing the system by saying, listen, result ABCD is good or ABCD result is bad. Right? Vietnam most probably weren't as good as they were made when they were winning, and most probably they're not as bad as they're being made because they're not winning anymore. So therefore, I think these are the things that we need to keep in mind, right? So therefore, they're evolving. The league is evolving. They are evolving, and they will win their matches at some stage again. Can Mohun Bagan Super Giant defeat Rafshan? And your prediction for tomorrow? Manolo, Mohun Bagan's first thing to do tomorrow is to ensure that they don't concede goals. If they concede a goal, you never know what's going to happen. Mohun Bagan's conceded 9 goals in the last 4 games. Their defense has looked very shaky. And therefore, I'm not sure how their defense will be. They can score goals. They could, you know, they can most probably blow teams out of the stadium. And if they want to have a decent ACL 2, then a win tomorrow is important. Do you think about Kono or football stand Kafala and put striking? Mullah, could you? I'm not understanding that question. Can you reformulate it, please? One reason you think Indian football not learn instead of just keeping on repeating it. What I wrote on Twitter today, it's about leadership. Only the right leadership and, you know, people following that leadership, we can be successful. So at the moment, we're a mess because we don't have the right leadership, and then stakeholders have to play their role. And as long as these things are not sorted, we're not going to get anywhere. That's our problem. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. I don't know the correctness of the statement. My intelligence question is, but I've heard in cast the conversation one can easily cross 100 cross clause as it will match in national in US one and one doubt. I would think if it goes to cast, the matter will, yes, be costlier for East Bengal, Delhi FC, and Anwar Ali. I think it easily will double. If it's going to go from about 25 crores to about 100, not sure. Not sure if that's going to happen. But again, they will look at other matters as well, and that could be a little tricky for certain people involved in the matter. Good evening, sir. Jamshedpur FC have quietly gone about their transfer business season. I think they have a good enough team. This is not better than last year for sure. Yeah, Ishan, that's what my thought process was. I think today they turned it around against Goa because of the individual brilliance of their players. I think that's so therefore for me, it's going to be an interesting thing to see how Jamshedpur do. But a lot depends on the individual brilliance of Javi, Severio, and on John Murray. Ray Tachikawa as well, especially the foreigners will be the key players for Jamshedpur FC. And asked about corner effect, our talent falling down, our talent pool shrinking. We have, you see, our talent pool shrinking would be wrong to say. We have got many more players in the system, but the quality is not going up. So we've gone for mass rather than class. So that's the challenge that we have. Vietnam now degrading, but other countries. Vietnam not degrading, but other countries bringing their peer OCI players, but Vietnam, India not. No, Vietnam has also done that, right? Krishanto. So they've also done that, but they've not had brought in that many. But they're going to do more, I think. Player who receive salary in ISL, India foreigners, whether they receive salary in rupees or dollars. Foreigners receive it normally. Normally, foreigners receive it in the currency of their country. I hear Anwar wanted to go to cash. He thinks cash equal to cash. Guardiola, yeah, if you're able to make jokes about the matter, then nice. But again, the whole thing is such a mess, and these people have really taken it to a terrible, in my opinion, a terrible level, which is not helping Indian football at the end of the day. That's my only question at the end of the day. How is Indian football being impacted by such a story? And to be very, very honest, it's shameful where this whole episode has really gone by now, right? We're one of our best players in a situation where he theoretically is not playing because he and his people wanted to do something which wasn't legal, and that's for me, it's disturbing in itself, very worrying in itself, and they're trying to find any avenue to get out of the situation. They're not accepting that they've done something wrong. This is my big concern. There is right and there is wrong. I would have more respect for people who say, you know what, I have done something wrong, I'm sorry about it, shouldn't have done it. Very simple. None of these people are doing that. That is my biggest concern, that they're still saying, hey, listen, what we're doing is right. And they're trying to find loopholes to get away with cheating. They're cheating. And it's all about money. So this is not acceptable. We have an inside information of Mohamed Superjan approaching casts. Orithro, at the moment, I've not heard anything. So what is the women's national team controversy about? The coaching appointment of Santosh Kashyap. We've discussed it earlier. Can IPF franchises run us benefit ourselves? I know it's a different sport, but at least we can hire those who are in administrative position. Maybe they could prove to have fun running the admin part. I don't think so. In 2011, FC Sion violated the FIFA transfer when signing 6 players and failed them in domestic and Open League matches despite a sweet quarter ruling FIFA disqualified them. Shomo, there are a lot of examples. The problem here is, again, a lot of people go back in history, 15, 20, 30 years. People are speaking about Bosman, this, that, everything. The rules have been tightened over the last 5 years, right? So the rules are much tougher today than they were in the past. So a situation like Sion would never happen, right? So therefore, a Sion situation would not happen. And Sion going to court also meant that UEFA would have disqualified them anyway. Are reserve teams of East Bengal affected by FIFA ban or may never canvases separate from Delhi FC? Babalu's animation, East Bengal FC, every team of theirs would be affected, meaning that they would not be able to do any transfers of incoming players. Players can still leave. And Minerva, of course, as you correctly say, is a separate entity than Delhi FC. Anwar took advice from wrong guy. Yeah, Deepak, that's right. What possible could be ideal number of teams in ISL? 13 to 16, what about 30, 20, 30 games per season with 7, 8 long one league. Also have the Super Cup games in between the season. SC Euro, to me, I think the number should be smaller and should be 10. Because I think we don't have the quality of Indian players. To have a 16 is too many anyway, right? And the Super Cup or Federation Cup, whatever I'm going to call it, realize the AIFF again, because of cost-cutting measures, saying we're going to hold it at the end of the season. They've again done what they've done in the past. So therefore, these things are happening again and again and again and again. And we're not learning anything, so to say, from these things, right? Do you think we need financial aid for youth development and grassroots? Financial aid, yes, but from whom, right, Monali? Santosh Kashyap earlier said when he was Mohun Bagan coach, we will play like Barcelona and fail miserably in I-League. Yeah. Any prediction on ACL match tomorrow? Pranjal, nothing. It's an unknown opponent. Mohun Bagan themselves don't know them, how good or bad they are. So therefore, I'm not predicting anything. Yeah. Can IS compete with Real Madrid, Bayern Munich with the giants of football? Morally, looks difficult at the moment in the way where Ajax is standing. I think he's the smartest man alive. Yeah, Guardiola. Maybe he is. Maybe we are not smart enough. Huh? Maybe that's our problem. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. 48 and a half minutes gone. 35 of you are watching. Thanks for joining this daily Indian football evening discussion. 1,706 followers. Thank you for that. If you like what you're seeing, do subscribe arunfoot here on YouTube and my other social medias. And if you like what you're seeing, do leave a like or share. 23 likes so far. Thank you very, very much. Maybe you've watched something like yesterday's program, which was a little, which was a little much later. It was the latest show that I've done according to Indian time. So therefore, do watch it if you haven't. Why 10 teams in ISL? Pranjal, I think we need to look at quality. And we are in India, we tend to nowadays go for quantity. I'd rather have a smaller league but higher quality, because then I have better players potentially for my national team, because the competition will be tougher, And we at the moment don't have enough players. We don't have enough quality, and the best need to fight it out. If the best don't fight it out, it makes no sense. So no ISL games tomorrow. Yeah, that's very, very true. I can't agree with you regarding recent teams. We need more supply, and for that, we need more matches, so more teams at top level. Along with that, reserve team running parallel with main league. Show me two things. To increase the supply line is one thing. The other thing was, do I increase my matches for the sake of increasing matches, or do I increase the number of matches for the quality? At the moment, I feel there's a lack of. Are we increasing the quality of the ISL by increasing the teams? I don't think so. So my thing is, and Ishan puts it perfectly nicely, why not do a face each other thrice, 27 games? We're sorted. I would rather say that. And the reserve team league running parallel, it's not going to happen. They will have the Reliance Foundation League, and that will be, a huge local league, which then becomes regional and then becomes national. Certain things in India will not be doable like it is in other parts of the world. You think certain time best player in the world doesn't fit certain system of football playing style? Yeah, of course it happens. Look at a player like Zlatan didn't fit into the system of Pep Guardiola, right? Zlatan has been one of the best, I feel. कभी कभी हरी भाई को भी बुलाना दोनों का commentary best है. Thank you, Guardiola. Yes, I did that last week when Mumbai City played at Mohun Bagan in the ISL opener. We are trying to do some stuff together, but yeah, it's a bit of a timing issue at the moment. Not only us, but with the others as well. Even Manolo hinted at the end of ISL. Do you think those teams were willing to continue would move to I-League after ISL ends? I know for sure that there are franchises, if the ISL disappears, they will not continue. I would rather have competitive matches with less teams than non-intensive matches with more teams. Exactly, Manolo. I think that's the point that we need to get to. Which player do you think from I-League deserve to play national team or international football? Brutal answer, none. So what should be number of teams ideal for I-League, ISL, I-League, I-League 2 and I-League 3? Pranjal, I would say ISL 10, I-League also 10. I-League 2, I would split most probably into a north and south or east or west in some more form or the other, maybe do a 24-team league out of it. And I-League 3 is growing at the moment. 25 teams and 5 groups. That was an interesting format. To me, if I look at it, maybe you make it bigger in the long run. And then look in the long term, whenever you see you're growing, you are getting better talent out, grow your league to 12, grow your league to 14, grow your league to 16, but that needs time. Japan also delayed its growth of its J League when they started in the 90s. We can adopt the Swiss model format, less teams, but each team plays each other thrice, thus increasing the matches, much needed for the players. Yeah, much needed on one side. On the other side, we realized last season we had too many matches, right? We've never, we need to be smart. Even Kuwait Bahrain League is playing 27 matches. Thank you, Banjob. You'll watch the game tomorrow of Mohun Superjan ACL 2. Let me see if I can watch it. Not sure at the moment. Depends a little bit on work commitments. Manolo, it's high time you change your DP. Yeah. Are you in favor of applying the rule of no foreigners in I-League? No, I don't think so. I think it's fine to have no foreigners in I-League 2 and I-League 3 and in local leagues. But I-League, these now, especially with the India under-20s back again, I think it's good competition for these kids to play against foreigners and generally as well. Which is tough condition to play football? Hot, cold weather, high altitude? All of them can be, depending on the weather. It can be too hot, it can be too cold, it can be on high altitude also. So all of them can be. One we're saying players are overpaid, clubs are offering huge, and other side we are thinking to reduce teams. Why Anwar is overpaid? Because there's few quality centre back. Yeah, but that's the exact point, right? If I don't have players for 13 teams and 13 teams are fighting over the players, this will become better when we have 10 teams, right? Supply and demand. The supply at the moment is non-existent. And if you see the players coming through, you have a lot of players who. How many players did we have in the last 2-3 years where we thought after 4 or 5 games, oh, you know what, future India star coming, and then they disappeared. On a side note, how you able to play the AIFF will screw up the Indian football calendar last year? Ishan, it's just experience and knowledge, and you cannot replace experience and knowledge and understanding, with anything, right? That to me is lacking. And vision, of course. Vision, I'm putting together vision on paper, but where is my vision in reality? These are all, and to me is when I looked at the calendar, the year before we said, oh, you know what, there's not enough matches. Last season there was too many, especially September. We had way too many matches, right? National team, under 23 Asian Cup qualifiers, Asian Games, ISL starting, Champions League, AFC Cup. It will not work. So we need to be smart enough with our calendar, and we need to remember weather conditions, right? Duran Cup and Bandurkar Trophy, especially Bandurkar Trophy. I mean, I thought the pitch looked quite good today after how it looked at the Bandurkar Cup. These are all things that we need to be aware of. And add to that, distributing the league into two halves of North and South Conference, just like the MLS having Eastern Western Conference. I am not a fan of that, to be honest. FC Euro, I'm rather a fan of one table. But again, that's a minute detail that could be looked at. Does Buckingham as India coach? What do you think? No, to be very honest. First of all, I mean, he's seventh in the table in the championship. He's just outside of the promotion, playoff promotion spots for the Premier League. Des, I think, is in Oxford quite happy. Oxford is quite happy with him, and therefore for me, I don't think Des is a candidate for us, and Des is a club coach at the moment. So therefore, also club coaches, national team coaches, for me, there are the two lines, and again, only really really good coaches can switch from A to B. Ishani predicted the screw up causes AIFF. No, not Pranjal. It's not to do with AIFF. It's about understanding how you put together and plan a season. The AIFF has a problem in the season. They have to, for example, and that's not an AIFF problem. Duran Cup is a problem. But who in the AIFF will tell the army, say, guys, we need to streamline the tournament? No one's saying that. Then suddenly Bandurkar Cup crops up, right? How do you make a football calendar anywhere in the world? You put in the international dates first. You put in the FIFA match dates first, right? International games. The second thing you do is international club competitions, right? So that in India would be AFC Champions League 2 and the Challenge League this year. Are there SAF competitions around? I know last year we spoke so many times about some SAF Club Cup and whatever, blah, blah, blah. The SAF Club Cup has been a topic of 10, 15 years. It's never going to happen. That's why it's not happened. Sorry. It might come in the future, but I always say is as long as we don't see it physically happening, as long as we don't see the tournament being played, I stay out of that discussion and say, listen, guys, let's focus on the things we have, right? So that's the challenge, in my opinion, that the SAF Club Cup, you don't need to factor in. But again, Asian Games for us should not be an under 23 competition. I would send the under 20s just out of exposure, right? So therefore, we need to be smart in our calendar. Do you think referee decisions certain time controversial even after having VAR system, which happened at the Hashtag before? Of course, it is, Morali. VAR is not your end and end solution to it. You saw it at the Euros, mistakes. Germany, Spain would be my favorite example. So yeah, we need to build an ecosystem within the league, like top tier big spenders, mid table, bottom fight for existence. Shomo, we already have that, huh? Mohun Bagan is the biggest spender on one side. Mumbai City, most probably the smartest in regard to spending and building a team. You know, a lot of mid-rung teams, and then teams who are just, there at the moment to make up numbers. Did you see the hockey final? Are you following chess Olympiad? I don't follow chess, to be very honest, Panjal. And no, I didn't see the hockey final. Again, I'm based in Germany, so sometimes watching Indian live sports is not so easy. Therefore, for example, I'm very happy, and I make this public also here on this platform. Thank you to One Football that I'm able to watch the Indian Super League live on their platform. One Football, the app. If you're abroad, you can watch it in a lot of countries. Supposedly not in Croatia anymore. That's a funny one, but that's supposedly the case. But yeah, if you're abroad, One Football is the official global streaming partner of the Indian Super League. Sorry. Today Indian national team coach with better foreigner lost to an Indian coach at home, still not believing Indian coaches. Well, Guardiola, my counter example would be what talent are Indian coaches producing, and what is happening with Indian coaches at our national teams, right? And this is not this win today. And again, a lot of these wins you will put it down, but a lot of these wins is not up to the coaches. XYZ doesn't matter which team we're talking about. It is very often about the individual brilliance of players. If Sadiko is a little wiser in one or two decision making, yeah, bangs it in, you know, makes a difference. Asian Games was the most ridiculous of them all. What did we even gain out of it? Nothing, Ishan. It messed up our season. Ashutosh Mehta was doing very well even without playing for 18 months. Yeah, Banjup, I felt. But Ashu is a thorough professional, despite some of those issues. Uh, you know, um, uh, and again, it shows experience does count in an Indian context. Do you think any high-profile coaches who coaches low-level teams should they realize exception needed to be set realistic because they accept possession of attacking football and resting football? See, high-profile coaches these days don't go to small teams, right? Very rarely you'll see that. The really high coaches, and that's the reality. Also, senior players, fitness is not that level. They can accommodate more than 30 matches in season. Forget senior players. I think any player in Indian conditions. Look at the way the players were sweating in Kolkata the other day when Mohun Bagan and Mumbai City were playing. And even today in Goa. So Indian conditions, 30 matches, 35 matches in Indian conditions is like 50 matches most probably in foreign conditions. Of course, the speed in the ISL automatically will be slower than it is going to be in, let's say here at the moment in these weather conditions. What is it? 17 degrees outside, right? 17 and 35 makes massive difference. So how is it looking now? Wow! Manolo Marquez is now Manolo Marquez. Congratulations, my friend. Finally the change. So a new national team manager is finally also there in the profile of our very own Manolo Marquez. If Japan coaches come to India, will anything change? Unless we focus on foundation, nothing changes. How do you rate Japanese player? Murali, theoretical question. To me, it could be the coach of Japan. It could be the coach of XYZ country. It might be that, I don't know, Guardiola and or Klopp coming to India, they would fail. And there could be an XYZ manager who we don't know come to India, do better. Right? So this is a lot of these questions are very theoretical, and I like to live in the practical world. So this is something which, there will be no AI who can tell you this will work, this will not work. There will be no, computer system which can tell you that. So therefore, I don't know. Your thoughts on Jerry left back? Is he missed the national team actually? Yeah, surely. I mean, India junior, long time. Let's see. Khalid Jibril can be our under 23 manager. Don't see that happening. If Eastbourne performs their best, then how far can they go in the Challenge League? Oh, Ranjal, for me, if East Bengal can survive the group stage, that's going to be success. I said it last year before the Champions League and before the AFC Cup. I have nowadays zero expectation. And to me, that proved me right because Mumbai City were just forced to play superior opponents. On the other side, Mohun Bagan disappointed in the AFC Cup. Odisha somehow made a comeback, but then had a reality check against Central Coast. So therefore, no expectations. If they do better, I'll be very, very happy. Profile picture changed after heavy demands from my fans. Manlo, thanks a lot. I don't know the name of the German. Lasted for a long time to German team as a comment have such a long tenure. Very rare. Manuel Neuer, I guess. Yeah, happens. Not only Germany, in certain teams it happens. You are from Germany. Have you met Robin Dutt? Yes, I have Robin Guardiola. Yes, we've met a number of times over the years. Actually, I knew him before he was even a top-level coach, to be honest. OneFootball does not broadcast IL matches, and I downloaded it last year for the stream, but it's a very good app. Chetan, it's OneFootball only broadcasts the ISL outside of India, not within India. In India, you'll have to watch it on Sports 18, on Geo Cinema, or the Geo app. Outside of India is where OneFootball broadcasts the ISL. Wanju hammering last year's AFC champion finalist Yokamara 7-3. Good to see Buriram are shorter drawing as with Kobe and Al Nassr. FC Hero, that's the charm of the Champions League. Huh? A smaller and more and this is an interesting one. Huh? The AFC once decided to go from 36 to from 32 to 40 teams. And for example, the ISL Shield winners got into the Champions League, and now they've decided to reduce it to 24, which is a radical move. In Europe, you go from 32 to 36 tonight. Let's hope Manolos go up perform well. Otherwise, it will affect our national team performance as well. Yeah, could be, but it's I think will it have an effect? I'm not sure. Because whenever there are two teams, it could have effect on Manolo, but I don't think it's going to be a question of how he handles the situation. And if I see again today, Manolo speaking was great because he was very, very honest, as he very often likes to be. But he needs to make some tough decisions at club and country. Do you think a country which is not powers in football, but they have good leadership quality, what we don't have? Murali, most probably there is one, but I wouldn't be able to tell you that country's name. Thanks, Manolo. We don't want to see that creation again. Yeah, Deepak. Mourinho will do better only in India. Don't know Guardiola. Why Turkey? National don't qualify for World Cup. They always have good players. Chetan, having good players doesn't mean that you're going to qualify for a World Cup. The Euros are easy to qualify because you now have 24 spots, but you've got 13 spots in Europe for the World Cup, or had. Now you have more, but still for Turkey, with all the talent that they have had, very difficult. I mean, but again, they finished third in 2002, right? Do you think in football only financial muscle power cannot guarantee success, or quality of players matters? Morally, again, generalization. Sometimes your money power is strong enough. Sometimes the quality is. Sometimes there are other reasons. Football is not predictable. Can we see Robin Dutt in ISL? Guardiola, I don't know. So, do we have other coaches or people in the football ecosystem that are on the top, like Robin Dutt? Ishan, yeah, there are a lot of management people. There are a lot of people in management, but again, you most probably will not have heard about it. By the way, I heard some of our players are joining Andorra's league. Have they started or are still waiting for visa? Also, just letting you know, we are annihilating everyone in Chess Olympiad. Pranjal, that's nice, but I once had the pleasure of interviewing Vishwanathan Anand, and I jokingly told him, I said, great for your success, but to me, I don't know. Chess to me is not a sport. Sorry. How does you feel when you meet for legend of football? Do you have any surprise or goosebumps? Morally, legends of football, in an Indian context, let's for example, Virendra Singh is one of my best friends, right? Maichung is a friend. Sunil is a friend. For me, I met last Thursday when I was at a conference here. I met legends of not only football, but sports. To me, I don't, I don't want to be a fanboy. I think I'm too old for this. I've met too many people. Again, my first ever interview, for example, when I was at the Deutsche Welle and I was an intern, was Franz Beckenbauer, Germany's biggest ever footballer. It was my first ever interview. And I remember I jokingly went back to the office and said, you know what, guys, I'm done. My career is over. In Germany, I will not be able to interview anyone bigger than that. I'm retired. That was a joke. But, so therefore, I have never had no, I'm fine. That's why I think people respect me also. I think people respect you more when you behave normally with these kind of people, right? They there are a lot of people who stop, stare, watch this way, watch that way. Just treat them like normal human beings. Be friendly, be respectful. That's going to be. This makes chess the only sport where a world's best. Yeah. But again, as I said, Pranjal, sorry, for me, chess not a sport. Sad to say JJ's decline. He and Chetri were a great attacking duo. It's not a decline. FC Euro, JJ Lalpek Noah was, towards the end, had, of course, serious injuries and that ended or cut his career short. Cricket doesn't count. Again, Pranjal, as you say, if cricket doesn't count, chess also doesn't count for me. How does they evaluate good coach or bad based on results and prove national team? Murali, again, individual, there are no parameters. Evaluate a good coach. You might take someone who's not a good coach and you ask, why are these as a club or a national team taking him? And then they're successful. Who do you see filling Jose Mourinho's shoes in upcoming years? Murali, I don't think anyone fills anyone's shoes. I think every coach is an individual. Do you think Euro's performance of Croatia marked an end of Croatian spirit of dominance? Chetan, first of all, there was no dominance of the Croatians. The Croatians were up there with the best and they were challenging the best in the world, but they weren't the best, right? So therefore, you can't say that, the word dominance, I think, is a too big a word to use in the context of the Croatians. So for me, let's see. Sir, do we actually have a proper number 9 good enough to play for the national team? No. We don't. So therefore, we'll have to find solutions for that. And again, for me, at the moment, what I've seen over the last 3 months, most probably Rahim Ali to me is our best bet at the moment as a real number 9, or otherwise we'll have to try false number 9s. That's our best bet at the moment. So your prediction for Mohammedan's match tomorrow against Rafshan. As I've said, Friction Nerd a few times tonight, I don't know enough about Rafshan, and Mohun Bagan's defense is so leaky at the moment. 9 goals in the last 4 matches. To predict, it could be a simple 1-0 or 0-1, or it could be, I don't know, a 4-4. Or again, just saw a Champions League result of 7-3. Therefore, let's wait and see what happens. But to me, I am, a lot of people like to give an opinion about things, but I am, if I don't know something, as I always say, I'll tell you, right? So therefore, I don't know enough about the situation of the opponent. Is Robin Hood currently managing any team? FC Euro, Robin at the moment is not a coach of a team. He is an expert on German television. That's what he's doing. Do you think Spain safe football in final? Are you surprised how England played final in Euro? Safe football, yeah, most probably. I wouldn't say safe football. I think Spain deserved it. I think Spain and Germany were the 2 best teams in the tournament, and England still themselves don't know how they got to the final. That's the reality. Right, 1 hour and 13 minutes. Those of you who might be new to the channel, welcome here to ArunFoot. My name is Anav Chaudhary. If you haven't, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. 1,706 subscribers. So thank you very, very much. We crossed the 1,700 mark today. So going slowly towards the 2K. Keep spreading the word as always, and then more people join in. And 24 likes so far. So thank you to that. So do spread it. And I said like, share, and subscribe. Chess is the only sport in which India has produced world-class players, so Indians have to consider chess a sport even if they don't believe in it. Pranjal, I'm not talking from an Indian context. I'm talking from a global context. Chess to me is not a sport. Sorry. You might think it is a sport. Others might. If we're successful in a sport, then you're contradicting yourself, right? Then you just said cricket is not being considered, but then you can't consider chess as well, right? So let's see. Do you think Indonesia past expectation of PO player played major role? Of course, they surpassed expectation, and the PIOs have played their role in it, Murali. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there where they are, right? That's Indonesia at the moment. Let's see how the league grows, how they overall grow, and this is in 2024. So far, they've done very, very well for themselves. The question is, can they keep it up? Can they bring it to another level? All right, so nice to have a Candid Football Conversations with you. Bye for today. Bye, FC Euro. We will catch up again. And I'll slowly also come to an end. 1 hour and 15 minutes crossed. on a day that Jamshedpur FC upset FC Goa to win 2-1, comeback win for them. Yesterday, Santosh Kashyap was announced as the new India women's national team head coach, a somewhat of a surprise. And if AIFF PSC latest seems to be that they will rework all their orders and in more detail. But again, let's see what comes up next. Yeah. When is Hamza playing for Bangladesh? I don't know. Let's see. From October, documents supposedly done. Sorry. So we are, so let's see. But cricket isn't considered because no one plays cricket. Almost everyone plays chess at the highest level. I mean, no, not everyone doesn't play chess. Who's telling you that? Right? Chess is, for a lot of people around the world, maybe it's a pastime, but I don't think India's been, then in America, they would jokingly say, they make jokes about it. They say, listen, then spelling bee should be a competition because that's where Indian kids are very, very successful in America. So therefore, 2 years ago, Indonesia draw with Bangladesh. Yeah, that's the development curve you can have if you have players of origin, right? So I slowly come to an end, guys. Yeah, and on a Tuesday evening, September 17th, be back tomorrow evening with another show. There's no ISL tomorrow, but we can talk about AFC Champions League 2. And let's see what they do, Mohun Bagan. And then, also let's see what the latest is from Hyderabad FC and the signing of players. Good night, everyone. And I'll be back tomorrow.